Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Luisa Battistella, and today I'm going to talk about Kahoot as an educational software tools. Kahoot is a learning and engagement platform. It makes easier for educators to host learning session and to engage students and retain the material in a creative environment. Kahoot offers free and paid plans designed for school and work. The free version is good for education purposes if the institution doesn't pay for the subscription. So it's a web-based software and the students can either play on their own phone or tablets the website using the code specific provided by the instructor. Session can be hosted anywhere using a device connected to internet. It can be used in person at school or virtually or as a self-study and review. What I usually do, I usually have the students review at the end of the lecture and also to prepare for the exam. It can be used in higher education. What's nice is students can get feedback immediately and then it combines curiosity and play in a fun and social way. Can be played as many times as the students need to retain the material, and the time to answer the question can be adjusted up to 4 minutes in case the students need more time. So it's good for all students with any ability. Uh, the text is scalable using the browser zoom in and out feature for at least 200%, can be embedded in YouTube media, and then the sound music is mutable using the mute tab, and also the mobile app have a built-in read aloud feature. So that's an example of a question using Kahoot. There is a title, most of the time there is a picture, and then of course there are different options for answer with only one, of course, right answer. So today I'm going to talk about diabetes. So define different. So those are objectives. It's important to define hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia and types of diabetes, ketoacidosis, the test to monitor the disease and especially hemoglobin H1C, and then normal ranges, pre-diabetic, and recognized normal and abnormal. So those are a couple of pictures of food with a huge load of sugar. And so we get sugar usually from food, and then it's absorbed, blood sugar level goes up, and then the beta cell in the pancreas produce insulin. So what are the associated diseases? So we have hyperglycemia or hypoglycemia. Hyperglycemia, it means that there is an increased plasma glucose level, and the normal reference range is 70 to 99 milligrams per deciliter. There are three types of diabetes: type 1, type 2, and gestational. So those are the reference range. The normal fasting glucose, as I said before, is 799 milligrams per deciliter, but a patient is diagnosed with diabetes if um, the glucose in plasma is more than 126. So type 1 is the insulin dependent, and is an autoimmune disease, and the pancreatic island. Basically, there is a destruction of the pancreatic beta cell. It occurs in childhood and in childhood basically, and then the severe complication of type 2 is the ketoacidosis. The ketone bodies are toxic if they are high concentration, and ketone in blood is called ketonemia. A ketone in urine is called ketonuria. So type 2 is a chronic condition, it's an adult onset diabetes, and then risk factor, older age, obesity, race, ethnicity. There is no symptoms, but treatment, it's diet, medication, and exercise. So there are women during the pregnancy develop also high blood glucose level, and after birth, the blood sugar level returns to normal. Those are the complications in type 1 and type 2, diabetes, nephropathy, neuropathy, retinopathy, and then cardiovascular disease. What the hypoglycemia? Hypoglycemia means a low level of blood glucose. Symptoms in a patient present if the glucose level is 50-55 milligrams to milliliter. The only treatment is give a glucose tablet candy to raise the blood glucose. So, how can we monitor diabetes? There are two tests in particular. One is called fasting plasma glucose, and the other one is hemoglobin H1C. I already gave you all the reference range for the fasting plasma glucose. The newest one is hemoglobin H1C, and I measure the average blood glucose level over the past 2-3 months. So those are basically the reference range. So it's normal if it's less than 5.7%, or it's patients considered diabetic if the hemoglobin H1C is 6.5% or higher. So at this point, I'd like you to play. I'd like you to play the Kahoot. So basically, what we do, we play solo. Okay, just to have an idea. I usually play at the end of the lecture so they can review. They can basically review. So we the material of the lecture. Okay, I usually have students put their name, Luisa, and okay. So now there is the title of the game, which is glucose in the blood, and so we can wait one. So the first one is a quiz. So I have the option of 3 or 4 things, which is I have to pick one. The second one can be that's a true or false question. So basically, true or false. I have only two options: retinopathy. So that's true, and then I can just do true. Okay. So then we have another one with the patient is considered pre-diabetic. So basically, this is just an example on how this is another true or false. Yes. So I can change the time. I can change the time for the students to answer the question, and then they can play the game as many times as they need to retain the material. So another example is another true or false is autoimmune disease. Yes, so that's true. Okay, so that's basically how we review the material. I hope you enjoy the presentation.